We'll give it a minute. Let's turn down the volume. Looks like we might actually be live. Is it? Yeah. Okay. Let's double check. Yeah, look at that. It is. Okay. Well, hey guys, Zach Storch here. Right now I'm actually just doing a quick connection test and a quick streaming test. I've been very meticulously combing over some of my game settings and some of my streaming settings, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to do things. Currently we're actually streaming in full HD at 60 FPS, so I don't know if this is going to work or not. Our bitrate's very, very high. I don't know if people are actually going to be able to watch this easily or not. However, I'm wanting to figure out how the quality looks. Right now I'm looking on my other stream and it looks like it's an incredible quality improvement. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to queue for a dungeon of some kind. We're just going to do some content and see how it looks. I'm probably going to not be streaming this the entire time, but yeah, I just want to see how this. Currently, I'm looking on my little tab I've opened, and it looks incredible. So quite happy about that. I might do a quick little tweet out just to be like, "Hey guys, actually have a high quality stream going on." But this is looking fantastic. This is a fantastic improvement. This is on one of my newer computers, so all of the graphics settings and everything, it's all a massive upgrade. This has a GTX 980M in it, because this is still a laptop, not a computer. But so far, this looks like it's going to be a monstrously dramatic improvement. Again, I'm looking at the on my little stream, and it looks fantastic. This is actually much more watchable than it was last night, and I apologize for that. There were some great moments on my stream last night as well, but I was watching over the recording for them, and just decided that does not meet my quality standards at all, unfortunately. So that was a big shame, definitely. But good news is, it seems like things are getting better now. Again, I'm going to want feedback from people as far as if they can easily watch this or not, because I understand that with graphics settings this high and stream settings this high, even if my computer can handle streaming it to you, you might not have the settings or internet speed in order to actually watch this, because we're streaming at such a ridiculously high quality. We have a 3,500 bit rate right now, and I know that's the primary thing that's actually the limiting factor. Besides that, this is actually a full HD stream, 60 frames per second. So I think I could basically, twirl the screen around and it should even look good on the recording, which is fantastic. Go ahead and pull more of these. I could basically pull the entire place. I don't know why I'm not just going faster, frankly. Probably should. Here. Actually, what even do I have to drink? Let's drink a flask. Yeah. Yeah, this is looking so much better than it was last night. Wow. Fantastic. I'm very, very happy about this, because I want to put out the highest quality streaming content for everyone. I really want to build up a larger following, and I know that to do that, I need to be putting forth quality content. And this is looking so much better. I realized that not only was I using one of my older computers last night, but I accidentally had the bitrate set all the way down to like 1,000 or something, which is just not okay. We're also going to turn the volume, because I've heard always feedback that my volume ends up way too high. But why are people going over there? That shortcut's gone now. Or at least you gotta complete everything to be able to get to the last boss. Hopefully I can actually change my gear. That would be neat. I don't know, I should change two, honestly, though. I don't know, just put that on. It's at least an upgrade. Has someone pulled something? What are they doing back there? Yeah, they have. What are you doing? Why are you going off on your own as the healer? You can't go this way anymore. It's not a shortcut. It doesn't work, guys. Come on. Okay. Oh, they're trying to get this. Okay, I really wish, like, are they trying to go for this thing? Because I really wish that people, if they wanted to actually get a quest objective, would just tell you, instead of, like, being quiet. This is an MMO. We can talk to each other. It's not scary. It's not too scary. Yeah, right now, even in game, I'm at very high FPS, even though we're streaming this full HD, 60 frames per second. So I'm pretty satisfied by that, actually. It's fantastic news overall. And I haven't had dinner yet, so I might actually just break pretty soon, basically after this dungeon, in order to go eat. But I'll be back later tonight. Player has left Everbloom. Nah. Let's just keep pulling though for now. Yeah, this is so much better too on my end, because my other computer just was not having high enough FPS to even really enjoy streaming. So, this is great news all around. This computer also has the whole 4K display thing going on with it, which is neat. It's one of the new Alienwares. I don't actually recommend Alienware anymore. The reason I ended up getting this one is because I had some major problems with my old Alienware, and they ended up sending it to me, which was kind of a crummy experience all in all. So frankly, this computer, their new Alienware, yeah, I'll say it's a great computer. I don't actually recommend it because Dell had basically ended up giving it to me for free after a horrible customer service experience where they took my money for their repair service, broke my computer further in the repair service, sent it back to me, and told me they wouldn't fix it again. So, I mean, ultimately Dell did the right thing. They gave me a new computer, but they did the right thing after being extremely shady and making me call and contact the CEO, actually. That's what it took. So, yeah. Don't actually recommend Dell anymore, but I will admit this is a good computer. Yeah, alright, this is going good. Oh, cool. Glad to see some people joining me now. I appreciate that. Hello, all. Again, I don't know how long this stream is going to go, but what I was wanting to do was test out some new streaming settings, because right now we're at 60 FPS, full HD, and swapped to a better computer than I was on last night, and things are looking quite a bit better, so I'm very satisfied with this. Anyway, let's keep pushing forwards. Yeah, there we go. Big AoE pull. Just going smooth. Yeah, look at the quality on my screen. It looks way, way better than it was before, so it's good, it's good. Oh, also, I should probably say, in the stream description right now, there is just a little blurb about some advanced screenings coming up for the Warcraft movie. I've actually been talking with the people at the Minnesota Zoo IMAX, and I'm going to be appearing there, doing some appearance stuff at that IMAX. I'm going to be hosting probably like the pre-screening trivia and whatnot, all that fun stuff. And I'll have a table there as well with some cool stuff for my novel. And very, very excited about all of that. I'm probably going to be doing some giveaway kind of things in the near future for advanced screenings. So if you are in the Midwest area, you could potentially get a ticket from me, because I have free tickets to give out. And I'm not quite doing that just yet, but if you follow my Twitter at Zadik3, you can keep up with news on that if you're interested in getting free tickets to the Warcraft movie advanced screening, which is going to be June 7th. So that's 3 days earlier than the movie's actually coming out. And there's a ton of advanced screenings going on all around the country, June 7th, which is really exciting for me. I'm actually really excited for the movie overall. You know, there's been very mixed critical reviews, but then overall very positive fan reviews. And that's kind of what I want to see, because it means to me that the movie wasn't really Hollywooditized, you know? If the critics aren't really loving it that much, but the fans are really loving it, it means that this is just, you know, our world. This is Warcraft, and some of the things I've seen is like, oh, this is cartoony, or, you know, I don't really get it, or whatever, and people saying stuff like that. But it's like, it's Warcraft. You either like it or you don't. Or people saying, like, one of my favorite things I saw was someone trying to say that it was just, like, a completely cliched fantasy story. And I'm like, yes, this is a cliched fantasy story, but it was the one that started most of the cliches, guys. This is Warcraft. Warcraft invented a ton of the cliches that, you know, Dungeons and Dragons didn't invent, basically, or Tolkien didn't invent. It was WoW. That's why there's so many WoW knockoffs. So I'm actually super excited for the movie. Whoa. I have to pay attention to what I'm doing. Not that these can actually, like, kill me at all. I'm completely overgeared for this at 7:30, so, yeah. I can just, like, use my foresight or whatever and then just become invincible. Alright, cool, cool. Pushing on. This has been pretty quick so far, which is great, and I haven't really noticed that much of a noticeable FPS drop on my end as well, which is great. Exactly what I wanted to see. Able to stream at 60 FPS apparently, full HD on this computer. That's perfect. I'll probably use this computer more in the future when I'm doing streaming, so that I can make sure we have a high quality stream. Because last night, unfortunately, though there was some great moments, I was doing Battlegrounds on the beta test for Legion, and that was really fun. Had some great moments. I won the game at 10 seconds on the clock or whatever. Managed to slip by and survive. I had like 70,000 health or something remaining. And of course, bear in mind that right now on the alpha at level 110, you've got like 2 million health. So I had like 70k health only. And I slipped by Demon Hunter into the our base, and I managed to cap the flag at 10 seconds. It was awesome. But then I went and looked at the recording for that, and I'm like, wow, that recording is absolutely terrible, unfortunately. Which is what prompted me now to want to massively overhaul some of my stream settings here and get this all working significantly better for the future. Just burn this person down really hard. Burn them down. Using fire. That's exactly what they want. Use fire. So, what are you doing since Koten? Asking in the chat there. I've been up to a lot of very fun stuff, actually. Yeah, I don't know when you've last checked in, sort of, with me in my life, but if you look in the description there, I had something, I believe, about my novel's adaptation for a big old MMORPG game, actually. It was played in 130 countries. So I should specify, my novel was not adapted as in for an MMO. It was adapted for content and a quest zone and, you know, storyline within another ongoing MMO, who are some friends of mine. And we published it for adaptation. It was awesome. The content was played but in like 130 countries. It was actually really well received. And people loved it. People loved it, and it felt really awesome to get to share my stories like that with the world. I've been doing a lot of, you know, con appearances, fun things like that. I have a ton planned up, or lined up right now, including, you know, the World of Warcraft advanced screening coming up. I'm going to be doing an appearance for that. And then there's Metacon in September. Yeah, September, Metacon. It's like September 6th or something. It's very early in September. And I'll be guest appearing there currently, is how I'm lined up to be. Doing a ton of panels as well, including kind of ones about, like, you know, how do you get on reality TV? Because one of the things that actually makes me sort of unique as far as coaching goes is that among the cast, a lot of people on King of the Nerds were sort of like, they searched for those people and they sent out, you know, invitations to NASA or to a rocket group or whatever and said, hey, anyone want to go on King of the Nerds? It was, I believe, myself and Kelsey on Season 2 who were the only people who actually just applied for the show. Everyone else was sort of somehow requested or already on the inside. So Kelsey and I just sort of applied for it. So I actually like to think that I know a lot about how to get on reality television. How you, like, present yourself like that. But I'm doing all sorts of fun things, you know? Always looking for that next adventure, always looking for the next creative opportunity to pour my energies into. It's good stuff. What about Panzer? Mr. Grims asks now in chat. I don't really keep up with Panzer a lot. I mean, I haven't met her in person. We've talked back and forth a little bit on Twitter and shared some of our feelings back and forth because, of course, you know, Panzer, she had a bad experience on King of the Nerds in terms of just being really majorly edited into a villain. You know, she really was. I was too. We were in very different situations in our life experiencing that. It hit her pretty hard. I could totally understand it. It was miserable for her. And moreover, it's just the stuff that she has to deal with as a result of that from seeing that. I understand sort of the hate on social media. I get a ton of that still. It's kind of ridiculous. At the same time, though, The fact that I've still got haters who actually think about me actively enough to, like, send me hate messages on Twitter and whatnot and Facebook, I mean, I must have done something right if I've stuck in people's minds that long, right? I kind of think my Facebook page was probably verified solely because I had people who were trying to be imposters of me. And so they, like, you know, were impersonating me on Facebook, and so Facebook had to verify me. So thank you, haters. But no, Panzer's really cool. I mean, she follows me on Twitter, at least. We've talked a little bit on Twitter, but I haven't really met her, unfortunately. I'd love to meet her someday. She seems like a pretty cool person, actually. I actually, you know, because I was a big fan of Season 1 of King of the Nerds, like, huge fan. So when I saw her on Season 1 of King of the Nerds, I really wasn't sure what to think of her. I was like, okay, this trade chat person, she seems a little bit, you know, difficult of a person. But then immediately once I started following her online and looked around at her online, I'm like, oh, this person's really, really cool. I guess the camera doesn't always portray you accurately at all. So, yeah. It's also just, you know, World of Warcraft players, right? We're super loud, very passionate people. We care about what we're doing. That's one of the reasons that the World of Warcraft fan base is so amazing, and that we're so persistent, and you hear from people in the World of Warcraft community so often is because we're so passionate. But on reality TV, that same, like, passion and energy and resolve that we all have and we're so proud of is very easy to play or just sort of edit as being really, really obnoxious. So, unfortunately, the same things that I really admire about so many World of Warcraft players, including myself, like things I care about being, you know, passionate and opinionated and invested in what you're doing. And those are things I think in all, like, sort of like being a nerd. What is being a nerd? It's just being passionate about stuff. And World of Warcraft players exemplify that. But, you know, it's also very easy when you've got people like us who are super opinionated and passionate. It's very easy to edit that to make it look bad, which I think is what happened for Panzer. Though I can't really speak for her experience entirely, but she seems like a lovely person, so. Alright, let's see here. We don't even need to, like, move right now because this person can get burned down so heavily. I'm literally just going to stand here. I'm going to be the bad tank who just stands here because we can. There. Thank you, Fluffy Flo. I'm glad you're appreciating that FPS. I was actually just doing, you know, this was spontaneous test. I haven't even tweeted out I was actually streaming yet. I was only going to do one dungeon, but it's been feeling so good that I did two. Currently, we're actually at 60 FPS is what I'm streaming, as well as full HD, I believe. So this is a super high quality stream. I realized that my bitrate was actually too low on the last stream that I did. I just had the bitrate set wrong accidentally. I've also swapped to a better computer that's got... My other computer has like a GTX 770 or something in it, M. This has a like GTX 980 in it, M. So that's a multiple times stronger graphics card, which means I'm playing right now. You guys are seeing the high frame rate. I'm also still, like, you know, around 60 always on here, and it's streaming great. So I'm very, very happy because I watched the recording last night. I'm like, that is not the quality that I want to have in my streams. That was not what I shoot for and aim for. So glad to be bringing people higher quality content tonight. Alright. Get the Exhumed Spirit over here. Pick him up. Should probably aggro that too, though. Aggro / kill, because everything just melts at this point in the expansion. You just attack stuff at this point in the expansion, and it just dies. Actually, I think there's a bug that happens here too if we kill him too early, isn't there? I've seen that before. You end up phased. Am I phased? No. Okay, good. Because you can get phased at that point, and then it's just terrible, and you have to sit there and wait for everyone to come into the phase, and it actually slows you down from having killed him too fast. But I think we killed him actually so fast that none of us even phased, so it worked out. We killed him even faster, so that we didn't trigger that bug. Yeah, I actually wish you guys had told me last night that the stream quality was as bad as it was, because I went back and watched that recording and I'm like, that's not good. But now this seems to be like way better. This webcam also looks a little bit better too. Just seeing how it looks on myself, the colors are a little more vibrant. You can actually see some of the cool stuff on my bookshelf back there. I'm always meaning to do my computer setup a little bit closer to my bookshelf so you have a cool backdrop going on. But I have to move it because where I want my computer like for everyday activities would be different than where I'd want it for streaming, unfortunately. Ooh, minor FPS drop there, but I think we're fine. Just because there's all this water over there too, so we're getting this huge outlook. I'm just gonna walk by those. We don't really care. And I just pull everything here. I'm tempted to pull the spiders over there because I feel like someone always manages to aggro them somehow. They're all the way over there, but people still aggro them all the time. Being a tank is a test of patience at times. Luckily, no one did aggro them this time, so that's good. This is a good group. I feel like this is a good group. People have been burning everything down really hard. AoE DPS is happening when AoE DPS needs to happen. Single target's happening when single target needs to happen. Feels good. Like, the numbers overall, they're not actually that high, but people are doing what they need to do. This rogue who's here, too, he's actually pretty good, so... That's all I really need, is, like, one other high DPS player, and then things go really smoothly. Okay. Let's go. Let's do it. Boss time. Activate my ring. Which is, like, this ridiculous DPS cooldown right now, because I have the maxed out high-level ring, so you use it, and you get, like what is it? It's like 70% versatility, 87% versatility. So that's 87% additional damage, or whatever it is, so it's, like, this, like, ridiculous DPS cooldown using it, actually. The tank rings are actually really, really, really strong for DPS, but it's just that you can only have 2 of them basically in the raid because there's 2 tanks. It's kind of sad that we're going to be losing them in some way just because, of course, they're going to stop having value at higher levels. They're going to stop working or whatever. But what is fun is with the time walking dungeons that exist now, we will still have a use for all of these rings and whatnot. Someday we're going to have, you know, Warlords of Draenor time walking, and you'll break out your ring and be just completely overpowered. Take out, like, Girthlak's Voice of the Deeps and Legendary Ring, Legendary Cape, and just annihilate everything in front of you. It'll be great. I look forward to that day. Of course, I think Girthlak's is actually still bugged, unfortunately. It's been doing this thing where it'll summon tentacles, but the tentacles can't actually attack, which is kind of sad, because I want my tentacle weapon to still work. Is everyone here? Did some people not spawn? Oh wow, caps lock on there. Armor! Just gonna make a couple of those. People aren't here. Looks like we have everyone though, so let's do it. Should have waited 20 more seconds, I almost feel like, for the ring, just to make sure we burn him down before the first wall. But I think we'll get him. Yeah, we totally have him. He's fine. He's totally going to die here. This is quick. Yeah. Nice. Fantastic. Okay. That was quick. Drop out of that group real quick then. Yeah, this is looking so... I'm just tabbing back to the stream again and looking at this quality, and this is so much easier to watch. This is great now. Really glad that I managed to work that out and give you guys a higher quality stream. Means now if I actually go over here to Shotrath too and just be like, isn't this cool? You guys can actually see what I mean, because it's not terrible. Yeah, I think even my like game settings right now are up moderately higher at that. Yeah, I'm on Ultra. So we're streaming right now 60 FPS, full HD, a bitrate of 3,500, on ultra graphics in the actual game itself, and I'm still, like, you know, hitting 60 FPS when I need to. Right now at 23 or whatever, but it's still smooth. It's completely smooth. That's fantastic. That's what I like to see. So let's see what else we have going on. I was going to actually just, you know, go break for dinner, but... Ooh, there's a rare over here I haven't actually killed. Where is he? Let's find him. Looks like he's probably inside of this little building here. Let's go in. There's a bunch I haven't killed here. Saw another one over there. There he is. Let's get him. Just, like, leapt into danger headlong. He could have been one of those scary ones that you need a group to kill. But I'm just like, nah, I'll just go fight him. Whatever. Being a warrior, I guess, doesn't mean you've invested a lot of stuff into your intelligence or dexterity or anything like that. You kind of just charge into danger headlong and hope for the best. Alright, see, lately I've been reaching this point where I don't want to get rid of all of my weapons because I want to be able to preserve them for that pre-patch coming out so soon. Because the second that pre-patch drops, we're going to be able to save, like, all of these weapon appearances. Because that's when the transmog is coming. So I've been actually putting a lot of stuff onto, like, the auction house. Even, like, random BOEs I'm getting. I'm putting them onto the auction house for absurdly large prices to kind of just temporarily store them. Because I don't have anywhere else to actually put them on this account. Oh, why are you wanting to do 60 FPS versus 30? I'm wanting to do 60 FPS just because I've heard it can make the quality a little bit higher. Occasionally, I do actually, you know, go above, 60 FPS in this, even when I'm streaming. If you were noticing during some of the dungeon content, we were hitting all the way to 60. I know that World of Warcraft looks barely any different whatsoever at 60 FPS versus at 30 FPS. But one of the things that does happen is when I'm turning like this, we're just turning it around. When you're streaming that, then, if we're at a lower FPS setting, it ends up looking worse. Right now, it probably didn't make a difference because we're actually still at the 30 or whatever. But... oh yeah, both tabs of my void storage are very, very full. I have both tabs of void storage full. Those have been filled for ages. I can show you, actually, how much... let's do that. Let's do a tour of my life as a complete and total pack rat. I have a hoarding problem, is what I would say. That's why it's always for the horde, you know? It was actually at one point back in Cataclysm, my guild tried to do an intervention for me. Because they were like, dude, Zadok, you've got a serious problem with hoarding. And I'm like, you don't know, maybe I'll need this sticky glue someday. I still have my sticky glue, by the way. I'm holding on to it. It's one of the most powerful crowd control items in the entire game. There is a limited supply, and it's rare now, and you can trade it. And there is entire, like, masses of content that if you've got a sticky glue, you can trivialize that content. There's all sorts of, like hunter capturing. There's so much stuff. But if you've got sticky glue, it's this stuff, really sticky glue. Renders a target unable to move for 10 seconds. It works on everything in the entire game, and there's certain situations it's actually broken completely. But no, I'm just a terrible pack rat because I've had all of this stuff for ages. Like, why do I have Ruther's harness right now? Look at this. Look at this. I have Ruther's harness. This is already known. I can't believe I managed to miss that. Okay. But besides that, most of this is actual stuff, mostly. Refreshing spring water. I guess we needed that. Oops. So I've got a couple of inventory spaces. I just don't have that many as I would like. We're gonna go ahead and actually deposit some of these nice items in here as long as we're here. So that I do have extra space. That's all we got for now. But no, it's just like it's just a mess. Let me show you the void storage because this is bad, to be honest. It's bad. I've just been playing since vanilla, and I've kept everything I've gotten basically since vanilla. So I have all of this random garbage. I also have like a dagger collection that I've been running for ages. We have the Raid Finder version of this and the Heroic Warforged version. They do have different colors, and I will save those, I suppose, when the pre-patch drops. Talon of the Tempest here. It's a random world drop off of a certain monster in Shadowmoon Valley. What resolution do you play at that screen space makes me cry? This is just actually the 960. Yeah, I'm doing windowed full screen right now. So this is just you know, this is just a traditional HD whatever. I'm not playing at 4K because when I play on 4K on this computer, even though it has a 4K screen, it ends up looking like a mess. I do actually rescale my UI, however, usually at least, but I rescale it to 1, because if you don't rescale it to 1, it looks like this, and that's way too small for me to see what's actually going on. So I usually play at this resolution, and then I rescale it just to 1 so it gets bigger. But no, I've got like all this, like, do I really need this, to be totally honest? This won't even be stored ever by void storage, but I just don't want to get rid of it, you know? It's a problem. It's really a problem. Yeah. This will be cool. I'm glad we'll get to keep that design. Or like Key to the Plains. Because the other thing, bear in mind, is warriors in Legion, they can actually get the most stuff. Because it's the rule is, if you can equip it, and it's soulbound to you, you save the appearance. But with armor, it has to be of your armor type. So warriors can only get plate, but they can get every single weapon type in the game as a saved appearance for your entire account, except for wands. So that's a big deal. Even bows and arrows, guns, if your warrior equips it, it saves the appearance. So warriors are actually going to be great in Legion for transmog purposes, and I'm kind of excited about that. Because I've been collecting all of these different weapons for ages. There's still the glyph of the Weapon Master as well, which is fun. So I'm excited for that. Anyway, let me see. What are we up to? Maybe we can look and see if there's like an interesting raid or something going on. See, like tank. Anyone just need a tank and only a tank? Because I like jumping into stuff if it's just a tank needed. What's this? Could do that, maybe. Yeah. Blackrock Foundry. Nice, nice. Here, let's do something hilarious. We'll queue up for Black Gate LFR, because this is actually a nightmare half the time. It can be such a nightmare. Oh, well, I did say during one BlizzCon, one of the things they were going to do was anything you have received from quest rewards was automatically going to be put in your TMOG. You say quest rewards or loot drops. It's actually not loot drops, it's just quest rewards. They can't track loot drops the same way that they can track quest rewards, at least not efficiently. So if you got it as a loot drop, it will not be saved unless you've had it, I'm pretty sure, is how it's going to work. Your quests, though. So all of those vanilla quests back in the day, which you can't even get the stuff anymore, you're going to have that still. So like I'll get my Whirlwind Axe back and whatnot. So I'm really excited for that. But no, it's going to be actually, I believe, just quests. If you have a source for saying and loot drops, I'd love to hear that one. But I don't believe that's actually the case. I think they're just doing quests because they don't have a really efficient way to track loot drops as well, to the best of my knowledge. But I am excited to get all my quest stuff back, because that's a lot of stuff. If you've done a lot of quests in the game, you're about to have like a giant library of things to transmog between. And that's going to be really cool. I also like that you can save appearances, because I have a couple of different appearances I really like, and I'll be able to, you know, swap between those now, and it'll be really fun. So let's see here. If I just put this like... Oh, that was dungeon difficulty, that's not what I meant to do. If I go to raid difficulty, we have this on normal, 10 player. I could totally solo all of this stuff, right? Like, completely and brutally, I would assume. Let's find out. Because I'd assume that this stuff by now is probably pretty soloable. But I don't know. Oh yeah, it is a Mercis though. He's kind of hard to deal with just because of the way he works. I need a lot of self-healing. Let's try it anyway. It'll be fun. It'll be funny however it works out. I'm going to equip something that has leech on it though. This little leech trinket, because that's going to give me a lot of healing and that'll help a ton. I'll keep my DPS one on. That seems of value. Let's see. I should be able to just totally fight all this stuff really easily. Got Lore Walker Cho here. This was actually pretty fun content, I felt like. I thought it was a decent raid overall. Like, there's been better, but it wasn't bad at all. Terrace was a little bit iffy, though. I just felt like that was boring. Though sometimes having a boss rush kind of raid is really comfortable after ones that have so much trash in them, and trash gets so boring after a while. You do the trash a couple times, and then I start feeling like it's just part of the grind every single week, and it's not really necessary the same way. Seems like one of the things that I've been working the hardest to find always is that balance between how much trash do you do and then how much, like, just boss do you have. So, it's a tricky one to figure out. Yeah, this self-healing is majorly useful, actually, just having this much free self-healing. Gonna let us survive dramatically longer. Not that I'm actually that worried about the damage this guy could do. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'll just, like, one-shot me. Let's find out. Could you get over here if you're gonna be shooting things at me? Come on. He's really not coming over here, is he? I have to go to him. That's annoying. I want to pull the boss. Okay. Let's go. Here we go. Much better. Alright. Let's see how this goes. Because of course we can nuke him down really hard the first time, but then he's going to split, and then it's the destroy all the little globule things. I should be able to get a ton of them as long as I pay attention to what I'm doing. Because each time he explodes, I should be able to get a ton. So let's see. There's no reason I shouldn't be able to solo this. I forgot how strong we really are at this point. Because, yeah, I can just nuke each one of these, so it's just about getting to them in time. Yeah, that's the only large hit. This is easy. He can't even, like, deal any damage to me at all. Hopefully we can do better, though. I think I picked the wrong side. There was a ton grouped together very closely over there. Side I went to, there was, like, 2. So that didn't go too well. He's casting Swirl. I'm not very impressed, I gotta say. He's not dealing a lot of damage. He's like, I'll use Swirl, it's my super ultimate attack, and my health is just like, my leech is passively healing through it right now. My blood craze is almost passively healing through it. Okay, it looks like there's a bunch over here, so I'm gonna go here first. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We have that just popped up now. Uh-oh. So do I take that? Or... I don't think we're going to be able to make it. I've got 26 seconds on there, so we're not going to be able to kill this, unfortunately, if I want to do the silly LFR raid. So, I guess we'll go ahead and enter that dungeon, if it's going to let me. It says ready to enter, so I've accepted the invite, I guess, now. That means I'm going to be stuck. They're going to be really upset at me. Oh good, it is teleporting me. It's just freezing up in the meantime. Did my game actually freeze? Let's find out what happens. This isn't good. No, I'm queuing now. That's good. Okay. What's your favorite raid ever? I think it's a tie between ICC and Nax for me. Ice Crown Citadel is beautiful. It's one of the coolest looking raids in the game. What I would say is, like, okay, for boss design, my answers are, like, different as far as boss design goes, and then, like, raid design goes. Like, Firelands, to me, it only had a couple of bosses that are really super memorable, but I actually loved how the area itself looked. I thought it was a really well-crafted zone that looked cool. And the Molten Front, super memorable zone. Like, that was a fun raid tier when it came out to me. But the bosses, it's like, you know... Ali Razor, if you were actually the person flying, was really fun. Otherwise, it wasn't that fun. And then, you know, there wasn't a lot that was really impressive boss-wise in there. And then on the flip side, there's stuff like Dragon Soul, which personally I think had a couple of very unique and interesting bosses, but all of the art in there was sort of terrible because it was all just reused content from other places. But, like, Spine of Deathwing, that was a cool fight, I felt like. Madness of Deathwing, I think was actually a decent fight. And, you know, but then it was like, of course you had, like, Ultraxion as well, which was pretty boring. And then it was just, you know, the zone itself was completely boring because we'd been there before. All of the bosses were basically reskins of other models, so it wasn't that exciting. Icecrown Citadel kind of managed to have the best of both worlds, though. I feel like that was also a point in the game, though, where it was a little bit easier to do something unique. I feel like nowadays it's like we have so many designs that we've used before now. It's kind of hard to make ones that are completely original fights, like completely original. But Icecrown Citadel had like great looking fights, and it also just had incredible art. So why am I actually taking damage? That's not good. It's because I've got, oh, I see, cripple and whatnot, and then the healing reduced thing. I'll have to actually use a cooldown or something. Just make sure I stay up. Does this guy have a ring? Oh, he just pulled. Thank you. That's obnoxious. So much for the armor. Oh, and then he used the ring on his own. Okay. I hate when you get a co-tank who isn't really in. This should be pretty simple, though. Yeah, I'm really enjoying. I'm looking again at the stream quality here. I'm so glad that it's so much better tonight. Does this guy have a ring? Oh, he just pulled. Thank you. That's obnoxious. So much for the armor. Oh, and then he used the ring on his own. Okay. I hate when you get a co-tank who isn't really in sync with you. And he's not actually pulling on the boss, is he? Yeah. Okay. Okay, now he is. He's just losing it immediately because of my threat. Yikes. This should go okay, though. I mean, I have solo tanked it on LFR before. It's really not hard to solo tank on LFR. Is he gonna move the boss, though? Uh-oh. I'm very tempted to just taunt off and just solo tank it to do it myself at this point, if he's gonna mess it up like that, because we don't want to kill a raid. Because it is LFR and people don't always know what they're doing. So I think he's fine, I think I'm fine, but I don't want, like, random DPS to have their positioning wrong, because we're not moving him correctly. Sure work out, though. We should seem to be okay so far. Yeah, oh, I still have my leech thing on. Oops. I didn't realize that. I should have had my class trinket on. Because that's actually kind of bad. I like that sort of survivability. This whole 25% magic damage reduction. It lets you just completely take the LFR version of his death brand. You can just pop up your shield block, and then it does nothing. So we don't have that nice little ability, so we'll have to be a little more careful. Okay. Might be able to phase shift relatively soon, though, so that would be nice. Am I really the top DPS by this much? This is silly. Alright. Glad I used my safeguard. Helped him take that, because his health is not doing too okay. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a cooldown or two up so that the healers can focus on him for a bit. Try to grab these. I taunted the wrong one. Oops. Can you bring him over here? There you go. Perfect. There. Death Brand. Should have used the shield wall before, but whatever. It's really fine at this point. Yeah, this is gonna... This won't cause any problems. We're fine. Come on! He's gonna move? He's not moving. The other tank is not really in this to win it, I feel like. I don't know. Because now the Fel Fiends or Overfiends are over there. Because he didn't move soon enough, so people stayed over there. That's not good at all. And we still don't have the Death Caller dead, so I'm just tanking this the whole time, I guess. Okay. Uh-oh. Gonna pop the rings in just a second. I'll burn them down. Ideally, we should have waited until the portal came out, but this does need to die sooner. Though, the time that I solo tanked this, I had like 2 of these on me each time, so it's kind of ridiculous. Alright, let's grab the boss. Pull him over. Guess you don't really have to move them far in this one at all because there's no little twisted spirits or whatever, are there? LFR, it's a silly place. Alright. He's looking pretty good right now. So how about that Overwatch? I'm really tempted to get Overwatch and just like stream it even like tonight, because I really want to play it more. I played in one of the open beta weekends, or one of the beta weekends, because I got into that, and that was super fun. Made me want to play it more. I was terrible at it overall, unfortunately. But I've never been good at shooter games. Of course, lately I've actually been playing, and this sounds a little silly to compare it to, but it is a pretty fun shooter. I've been playing a ton of Splatoon. And I wonder if my shooter skills are any better after playing like a ton of Splatoon recently, since I've last played Overwatch. Maybe I'd be able to actually play it well now. Who knows? I mean, Splatoon's a sort of unusual shooter game, and so is Overwatch, so maybe some of those skills would transfer? Who knows? I usually just don't get too interested in too many shooter games. Uh-oh, Void Star. Yeah, Void Star, look at that. I was not able to get my heroic leap out, so I'm just dead. Because no one killed the Void Star. Uh-oh. We will see how this goes. I mean, if Kurek, the other tank, if he's gonna get banished soon, we don't have the DPS now because that was I was all the DPS. It was 10% of the raid plus whatever. So it's gonna be bad. We're actually probably a wipe here. Uh-oh. This is bad, unfortunately. Okay, well, it happens. This is LFR. I love how it's such a simple fight. I outgear it by a ridiculous degree, and then LFR, and we all die. That was a mess. Just gotta wait for things to die now, because he's gonna get banished to my phase in a very brief moment. There's no one else alive to actually fight it, and this is a complete wipe, but everyone keeps healing for some reason. Stop healing. Just, let us die, and then we'll repull. Oh look, Vial of Moving Waters. That was a lot of gold, actually. I got that from the Pandaria raid. Lost the other tank. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drop, because it wasn't like I was that invested in this, to be honest. It's kind of just for fun. Okay, and it is 9:03. I'm starving because I haven't had any food yet today. Like at all, basically. So with that in mind, I may be streaming later tonight. It's so much more enjoyable now that I've got such a higher stream quality, and it's a lot more fun that way. So I'm gonna be grabbing nice DPS as the tank, lol. Anyway, I'm gonna be probably going to go get some food or make some food here and be back shortly. Probably at least to stream a little bit more because it's being really fun. I'll probably actually announce that one on my Twitter and whatnot too, so more people actually show up because I've realized that I didn't announce it whatsoever, and everyone who came here I think was mostly people who just saw it, or you were I guess Fluffy Flow, you managed to get here. You must have seen one of the emails or something. I'm curious. Anyway, probably gonna go get food. So for now, don't forget to be awesome. For the Forsaken and battle on! And I will see you guys shortly. Hopefully. Later tonight is the plan. And thank you for coming by.